Hey y'all, happy Friday. It is me, C Diggy One, i.e. Chris, and this is my recap of the Real Housewives of New York season 15, episode 3. It is the Hamptons episode. Um should I even say what I thought about this episode? I mean, it was given a meh, but we're just gonna go right into it because it's just and I'm just going through the motions. We're only 3 episodes in, so I'm trying to be optimistic. So, oh wait, let me turn my notifications off. How y'all doing? We got 15 people in the room already. Love to see it. Hello, Amanda K. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I know it. That was pretty much how I summed it up, but I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to make it interesting because this is the perspective that I saw it from. But yes, this is the Hamptons episode. Erin is hosting at her house again. I was complaining in the last review that I'm just like, are they just going to do the same thing, but just 2.0 this season? So it looks like she learned her lesson from the last time, and the charcuterie board is stacked. Like she got food now, and even sandwiches. So she learned. We're with Ubah and Sai as they're driving together. Ubah's talking about her white man, and she's considering moving in with him. Blah blah blah. The ladies that rode in the chopper, they got there in 40 minutes. Like on second thought, because I said in the last review, I don't think I would take a helicopter, but it's better than being on the road for however many hours. I would say 40 minutes. Like, look, I always compare it to Brooklyn because Brooklyn is just like literally on the other side of Manhattan, and it just feels like it takes forever. Forever. New Yorkers in the chat, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I could get to Philly easier than Brooklyn, and I feel like in the chopper, 40 minutes. Look, it takes about at least an hour to get to some parts of Brooklyn. Hell, even Williamsburg, and that's the closest. But, shout out to my Brooklyn fam. It's no shade. I'm just saying. Need my passport sometimes when I go there, but it's okay. So compared to Ubah and Sai, when they walk in, production lets us know it took them 3 hours to get there. Erin's house is gorgeous, by the way. So Sai sees the platter and she is satisfied. Thank God. We've achieved world peace. So it looks like Raquel, she was supposed to ride with Ubah and Sai, but she didn't. So then we hear Erin gleefully tell them that Raquel told her that they wouldn't let her sit in the front because she gets car sick. So she just drove by herself. And I'm just like, here we go. Sai is immediately offended. And do y'all remember this? Because Erin did it before. Remember when what was it, Jenna, before she got to the cast trip, she made like this big thing. Well, Jenna, she wanted to ride first class or whatever. Like even before she got there, and then all the ladies like already had their like thoughts about it. So she's doing it again with Raquel, and I'm just like, has Erin not learned her lesson? Now, remember this when we get to later in the episode. So then we see even in the flashback, Raquel is talking to Erin. Like Erin is doing the Grinch smile because, she got something she could go back and tell the other ladies. Let's see. I just feel like Raquel is going to be blindsided when she arrives, but we'll see. So Sai grabs her phone and she shows that there wasn't any indication of, Raquel saying that she wanted to be in the front seat or, her saying, she can't come. So then it's asked, like, what's the room situation? She asked that to Erin, and she says, well, Jen and Raquel are going to be sharing the same room. Oh, I'm glad you caught alive. Hello, Carlos. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Like, I feel so comfortable doing lives now, so it's great. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, yeah, Aaron lets them know that, well, Jen and Raquel are going to be sharing a room. And then Ubah, then she does these, like, she does, ooh. And everyone starts laughing. I'm just like, I don't really like that. Like, why are you doing that? Because they're both lesbian? You think just because they're both lesbians, they're just going to, like, fuck around the bed or something like that? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, let's just say the tables were turned and like they have two gays, like just me and my friend sharing a bed. And people just gonna be automatically assuming that we are messing around in the bed. I just didn't like that. Like, it's really immature. So I don't know. Did y'all feel that way? Let's see. Where am I? Sorry, looking at my notes, I get distracted easily. So then Jenna arrives, and I need production to not show us, like, keep showing us the price of Jenna's Bentley when she pulls up. We get it. She's rich. So then Raquel arrives, greets everyone, and then I actually liked how Sai casually just brought up, oh, why didn't you just ride with us? And I'm glad they didn't make a big deal out of it. Like, it felt like they just settled it right there. Raquel, she was just like, oh, well, like, she implied that she wanted to drive Sai's car. And then we cut to Sai's confession. She was just like, girl, I just met you. You think I'm going to let you drive my new car? I think not. And I'm just like, the entitlement on Raquel's part. And, she was just, laughing a little bit. Something about her, she kind of reminds me of Alicia Keys in her no makeup era. I don't know. It makes sense when you look at the album cover for that era. Like, she just reminded me of Alicia Keys a little bit. But let's see. I think to avoid, Raquel should have just said, yeah, to avoid everything, I feel like Raquel shouldn't have, like, just told her, like, straight up, like, oh, well, I'm car sick, can I sit in the front seat? Like, did she really expect to drive, like, Sai's car? I don't know. But I'm just really glad that they didn't make a big deal out of it. Like, we're just moving on from that. Hold up. I love Alicia Keys now. She does look like Alicia Keys a little bit. It's no shade. I love Alicia Keys. She's like one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met. Excuse me. Right? Jenna and Raquel are friends, so Ubah's reaction was whack. Yeah, like, I don't know. I like Ubah, but I just didn't, I just thought better from her. I don't know. It's Raquel's lesbonic energy that reminds you of Alicia Keys. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. So then we cut to Brynn talking to Ubah about Sai and wondering how to approach it. And then Aaron nosy ass going to the room, followed by Sai. So now they might as well just talk out their issues by themselves. And Ubah tries to orchestrate this because she wants them to move forward. Now remember that when we get to the end of the episode. So Brynn immediately apologized to Sai and just wants to move on. But that's not enough for Sai. Like, she wants to at least express to her why she's angry. And I understood that. Like, don't just like try to move forward with me and not know why I'm mad at you in the first place, So she wants to know, like, why did you tell Jenna that I said I hated her? And I want to know the intentions behind that. So then Brynn yells Jenna's name in the house to come into the room. So now, she's being asked with, Brynn and Sai there, and she's just like got amnesia all of a sudden and just like, Jenna, you know what you said. Like, you said hate. And I think that's what Sai keeps harping on, that I don't hate anybody. But she did say I probably can't stand her. Now, if we going to go, talking about, like, I guess the logistics of everything, of the word, it's whatever. But I still, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. It's not. But yeah, Jenna said, she keeps saying it wasn't just Brynn that said that. And then somehow, amidst the game of telephone, the word hate just got in there. So Brynn didn't say hate. So I don't know. Like, Brynn gets pissed because she feels like she's being singled out now by Sai, even though Jenna told, I'm about to say Brenna, even though Jenna told her that Brynn isn't the only one. I'm glad you can make it too. Straight women act so weird about lesbians. Oh, yes, especially Brynn's behavior. Don't waste your time on New York. The ranking is OC, then SLC, then Sunday's Potomac. Well, I have a different view of that. I don't watch OC, but even if I did, SLC, because I watched half of OC, but Salt Lake City's at the top for me, then Potomac, then OC, and then New York. That's just my opinion. But hey, oh, I am so glad. We have people sipping Sauvignon Blanc, Moscato, Merlot. Thank you for joining me on your Friday evening. I just have water right now. So yeah, Brynn and Sai, they're going back and forth to the point where it's just a stalemate, and Sai walks out the room. Now, I did like how, what was it? Like, Brynn was just like, you know what, Sai, I forgive you. And then Sai was just like, well, I don't need your forgiveness. I need to do that. I need to try that one. Anytime I'm into it with somebody. You know what, Chris, I'm going to forgive you. Well, you know what? I didn't ask for your forgiveness. And I'm not sorry. Sai is being ridiculous. She does not like Jenna. She seems more upset that Brynn brought attention to it. But apparently, Sai is saying that to everyone. Just own up to talking crap. See, I agree with that too. You know, like, I just feel like she should be able to move on from that, because the main thing that she's mad at is just like the word hate. And then I think it's a culmination of Brynn, which is why I named this review, is Brynn the common denominator, because it seems like Brynn tries to start up these arguments between people. So I get why Sai's angry. And I get why Brynn can feel some type of way too. But if you're owning being the pot stirrer, then you need to own everything that comes with being the pot stirrer, because it'll wind you up just like how Lisa Rinna wound up. So let's see. So I think low-key this is Jenna's fault, because she did the same thing with Aaron and Brynn. Like, she brought up to Brynn, like, oh, well, you know, Brynn told this to me, that you said I was poor. What's that about? And then she did the same thing with Sai involving Brynn. Oh, so you telling Brynn that you hate me? Why is that? So, yeah, Jenna, she's just as fault as well. Oh, Lord, Father God, here we go again. So, Brynn, her unserious ass, she goes into the kitchen, like where Sai is talking to the all ladies. She's asking Brynn, like, should I hug her? Should I hug her? Should I hug her? And everyone's encouraging it. So then she goes to hug Sai, and I'm just like, that's not a good idea. But Sai just accepts it. Like, you know, they have a warm embrace. And now, like, Brynn is kind of like crying. It was an eye-rolling moment for me, because I'm just like, okay, so are they over it now? Are they over it now? I just yelled next when I saw this. I'm not anti-Brynn, but I don't like when people think just because you say sorry that everything is okay. That is very true. I mean, the only reason I kind of like the hug, because I was just like, okay, they're going to move forward now, right? Right? But we'll see later on that just wasn't the case. I needed to see more resolve in Sai and Brynn's conversation, much like how we needed to see more resolve between Giselle and Wendy. So then all the ladies are together now in the room, and Jenna has gifts again. So we're just going to do the exact same thing that we did last season. Just everything. Anywho, she gets everyone's lingerie, and Jenna has some fun with Jessel. Like she gives her like a little Christmas tree costume in like an expensive designer bag, and then she actually gives her real gift, which is with like some like actually sexy lingerie, unlike last time. So yeah, cute scene, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to later in the evening. They're all headed to dinner. Everyone's trying to give, like a fashion moment. So we're at the dinner table. We're getting Raquel's story. Like she's the focus of conversation. Like throughout the conversation though, what I didn't like was like Brynn was just so fucking like annoying and immature. And just how she act, like someone said in the chat, like, what's the big deal? Like with her being a lesbian, like why are you just doing like just like all in her face? Like let her tell the damn story. And then she said, I want to be a lesbian so bad. What? Like, girl, relax. And I just don't like how they're viewing sexuality like a novelty. Or like it's playing dress up or something like that. And it's so offensive, just as a gay person watching. And I know, straights in the chat, I get it. Like, what's the big deal? But it's like you're dehumanizing somebody, like just to say it on like a further level. I know it's like a little bit of hyperbole, but I just feel like it's dehumanization a little bit. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But yeah, yes, Brynn kept interrupting. I'm glad y'all think she's annoying. She's trying to be a younger Sonia. Well, it's not working. Right, so Ubah came in like a wrecking ball. She was giving disjointed Dubai energy. Jenna enables Brynn, so it's hard to call it out. You're right. Like, I feel like Jenna could nip that in the bud if she wanted to. Maybe she likes the attention. But anyway, so Brynn then tries to put Rebecca in the hot seat. And I think she was trying to get to her to talk about her Scientology. But Rebecca starts talking about her relationship. And I'm just like, girl, we don't care about that. Like, and then she's talking about like a relationship when she was in her early 20s. Like at least oh, girl, I forgot her name already. Oh, Raquel. At least she was talking about her current fiance. So yeah, my fucks were few for that. But fast forward, basically. So then the ladies get back to the house. And side note, at this point in the episode, we got 15 minutes left. And I'm just like, meh, okay. That's why I only watched the episode once. Like, I take my notes and watch at the same time because I don't want to watch that twice. Potomac, Salt Lake City, I'll watch that twice. Then so everyone is getting ready for bed, and then we see Ubah, Aaron, and Jessel talking, and Ubah is discussing the beef between Sai and Brynn, and she uses that as an example as a whole for the entire group that she's afraid to like be open with them because she thinks it's going to be twisted or misconstrued by someone. Now, this is like calling back to when she told Sai about her relationship, and I guess she wanted it secret, even though I don't know why you want to hold secrets on a reality show about your life. But when Brynn brought it up like that, I think that's what really like scared her to like really disclose to the ladies. So she starts using the term pigeon as in like carrier pigeon, like he says, she said. So I know I was reading Twitter and I feel like a lot of people have a different perspective than I do. So don't get mad at me, but I have to call Ubah out a little bit. Like going forward with, Ubah versus Brynn. We'll get into that. I'm just giving y'all that disclaimer because I was reading online. I just like, I kind of took this a little bit differently than everybody, it looks like. So yeah, I feel like Ubah is paranoid. And if you don't want to share, you don't have to. You don't have to disclose anything you don't want to. But get off of reality TV in that case if you don't want to do that. So then Brynn comes into the room. She's being nosy. I guess she heard her name or production told her, go in the kitchen, go in the kitchen. So they admit they were talking about her and Sai. And Ubah says that her and Sai are actually not good because we see that 4 hours ago, like I guess Sai told her that she still feels that, her and Brynn can't move forward. I forgot the exact conversation, because I watched it once. But Brynn, she felt differently, and she asked why are they even discussing her and Sai's relationship in the first place. And I kind of agree because it had nothing to do with Ubah, and even in the beginning of the episode, Ubah was trying to get Brynn and Sai to mend their relationship together. Now, if y'all disagree with me, just let me know in the chat. And, I'm open to feedback. Like, I'm allowed to change my mind. But yeah, that's why I was looking at Ubah kind of funny because I'm just like, you were all, lovey-dovey with Brynn at first. Like, what changed? Like from you talking to Sai before dinner, I guess, to now. I somewhat understand what Ubah was saying, but this is Real Housewives. Yeah. And yeah, I got real tired of the pigeon thing. I really did, but I don't know. Some people liked it. Nah, I get what you mean. Straight folks like to act like they're watching a National Geographic documentary when they talk to gay people. A little bit. I get what Ubah's saying because the conversations between these ladies turn basic to war crimes. You're right. But I have another point to make in regards to that. So Ubah was being the pigeon in the situation. Could you explain that? It seems too unserious sometimes for no reason. I think that is why I'm giving it a chance, but I'm trying to get through it. Yeah, like the he said, she said, like it's not that big of a deal. Like it'll just be something as like, oh well, so and so told me you got a boyfriend. Like, Ubah's mad about that. That was last season. Or, oh well, she said you're poor. Like when clearly Jenna Lyons is not poor. She's anything but poor. Ooh, Sai. Like, I heard you said you hated Jenna. So what? You said you can't stand her. So like that, like, why are we making these big blowups over this? Like, can we get to like, oh, you were talking about my business. You were talking about my child, my man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm kind of like not tuned in or excited with this show because it's just dumb shit. Anywho, let me see where I was. So the conversation is now going left, but I think it's not fair that Ubah is putting it all on Brynn with the he said, she said, because her bestie Erin, now from the first 2 episodes, I'm thinking that Erin and Ubah have the closest relationship. So I would think Ubah would be able to call Erin out, but I feel like she didn't because Erin was the one who told Sai about, Raquel making it a bigger situation than what it was. So now Ubah and Brynn are going back and forth. It's getting louder. And then Ubah's like, it's done. And then Brynn's like, then stop fucking bringing it up. So now the two of them, they're like grown women trying to cancel each other out by making noises. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, for real? For real. Yeah, I just think we need to call this something different, y'all. Like, exactly, Carlos. Yeah, they're trying to bring it. Ubah was translating for Sai, making it so much worse. The same thing she's accusing everyone of. She went told Brynn what Sai was saying. Oh, okay. So yeah, basically that's what she was doing. Instead of letting Sai telling Brynn that, she did it for her. Okay, that's a good point. So then fast forward, it's the next day. Most of the ladies are chatting amongst each other in their rooms, and now we're with Ubah inside. So Ubah's letting her know about, the argument she had with Brynn the previous evening, and how in the group there's this pigeon carrying, and we hear the word pigeon at least 10 more times. Because Ubah wants to make this a thing, clearly. And she's saying, again, that's why she doesn't open up. And then Sai says, well, you open up to me. And in that moment, I'm confused because, Ubah's relationship with Aaron, I thought they had like the closest relationship of all the ladies. So, yeah. I feel like the initial conversation with Sai and Brynn just had nothing to do with Ubah. And I personally think that she's using this as a deflection so she don't have to talk about her life, because we're 3 episodes in and all I've heard about Ubah right now is, okay, she's with the guy, they're moving fast. Like, we didn't go to her place at all. Like, what about her business? Like, it just seemed like I like Ubah. Like, I met her at BravoCon. Lovely. But I'm just frustrated because I feel like I'm not knowing anything else about Ubah. Like, she's pretty and she got a man. And she cussed the hell out of Brynn. Thank you very much, Sheree. All the housewives treat sexuality like a novelty. I wouldn't say all. I don't want to generalize it. I remember, because I was just talking to my friend about this, how they used to do that on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm really glad that Andy finally said something about it. I was literally just talking about this before I got on live, because my friend was watching Roa. And it was season 8, I believe, when Kim Fields was on. And the way those women were talking about her husband being gay, it really rubbed me the wrong way. And, Atlanta always had a problem with that, but it was like the first time Andy actually brought it up. So, yeah, to your point. Oh, let's see. So, let's see, where am I right now? Sorry, y'all, live show. Okay, so most of the ladies go outside. It's everyone except Sai. So Brynn, Aaron, and Jenna, they're making shady jokes about the Uber situation. And at this point, I'm glad they got over it, because now, like, they can just joke about it. So, in one moment, I thought, okay, are they about to bring this up again? It's about to be a fight. But no, they were just laughing, being shady and kikiing. But then Ubah, she interjects and says, well, this is why Sai isn't here. And I feel like Ubah couldn't read that the ladies were really just joking with each other in that moment when they were on the patio. Like, they weren't being serious. They were joking with each other about the he says, she says. So then she says Sai is tired of being a pawn, and then gives an example of the telephone situation with Raquel. And I'm just like, I thought we were beyond this situation. Like, Raquel and Sai, they talked it out. Wasn't a big deal to mention anymore. Like, why are we bringing this up again? So then Brynn, she can't help but be snarky. She's just like, well, maybe it's because people are using spokespeople, and because they can't talk for themselves. I'm just like, oh Lord, here we go. So Ubah right out the gate tells her to shut the fuck up. Jessel breaks it down that Ubah clearly feels a way about her man being exposed by Brynn, and she never I guess got over that from last season. She said this in her confessional, so she still doesn't trust Brynn. And I'm just like, where did all this animosity come from? Because they were good yesterday. So then Sai comes out and Ubah is still yelling. She's calling everybody pigeons now. And some people are laughing because they're not taking her seriously right now. Brynn is just being condescending in the moment, which is just making Ubah more angry. Brynn is like, you can get your point across without cursing at me. Now, what I thought about that, just to be fair, y'all, because I'm not saying Brynn didn't deserve the curse out. It's just like, Brynn didn't call Ubah out her name once. She didn't call her a bitch. She didn't call her, see you next Tuesday. Nothing like that. But Ubah is going off. Now, I read on Twitter that Brynn shouldn't be policing how Ubah reacts to her. So I don't know. Like, what do y'all think about that? Because I feel like, yeah, we could go back and forth without you cussing me out. Like, especially if I didn't call you out your name. So yeah, just bringing nuance to the situation. Don't attack me. So, in this moment, I do think Ubah really needs to tone it down just a little bit, like just reel it on in, because now she's more angry than Sai is. So she continues to say, you know, fuck you, you're a snake, and then everyone's just like, Ubah. So as Ubah is going off, Sai says pineapple, and she just stops. And I guess it's their code word, like, girl, if you're getting too much, I'm gonna say pineapple. But they start laughing about it. And look, I get it, between the two of them, it's a thing, but like, put yourselves in this position. Like, it's kind of rude when you're like in front of all these people, and then two other people, they just have this little secret thing between them. And I'm just like, so y'all really gonna do this in front of everybody? You know? But yeah, the ladies are confused. Then they try to like change the conversation, kind of like to bring the hostility down by saying, you know, oh, is this safe words? They start talking about sex. It's just all an awkward mess. And I didn't find any of this the least bit entertaining at all. So the credits are rolling, and Aaron and Ubah, like, she takes her to the side and just say, you know, like, you're taking Sai's drama on, and I just think you need to chill. I'm paraphrasing. So then Ubah's like, you know, she doesn't care, and she said she will blow a pigeon up. And that is where the episode ends. It's just like the awkwardness at the table. It just felt like just a bunch of random women at the table because no one really knew what to say. And I just feel like with Salt Lake City, and hell, even with Potomac sometimes, I just feel like at least some of the ladies like really know each other. So yeah, it just keeps taking me out of it. Now let me see what y'all saying. Exactly. Does Ubah want to do this show or not? She's not. She's only giving face, and I'm bored. Her activated is Dubai reunion. Unintelligible. Okay. All right, so some of y'all do agree with me. Ubah was bugging. Is always one that's hell-bent on ruining them. Yeah, like, I really felt like the ladies were having fun in that moment. Like, they were throwing shade, and then here come Ubah bringing in something that's just like no, like, it had no, like, the topic just had no, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? A live show. It just had nothing to do with the moment. The thing is, Ubah started it though. Okay. No, everyone has a right to say that they don't want to be cussed at, especially if they're not doing it to you. Well, you know, I'm surprised, y'all. Like, I really thought I was going to be, you know, on an island with my opinion. As I saw that now, I know they're going to be a duo throughout the whole season. Ubah cannot read a room or land a read to save her life. You said it, not me. I see this being Ubah's last season or becoming a friend of. She was annoying this season. Well, the season just started, to be fair. And hey, Tati, how are you? I'm trying to give Ubah the benefit of the doubt, but this episode, like, I didn't care for her or Ubah, honestly. I'm trying to think who did I like on this episode. I mean, Raquel didn't bother me. Jessel never bothers me now. Like, I need more Jessel. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Relevant. It wasn't relevant to the conversation. Look, I be on, 10. Well, thank y'all. Like, y'all don't make me seem like I'm crazy now, because I was really getting frustrated about Ubah because I like her, but I was just like, this had nothing to do with the situation. Anywho, yeah, I also think it's a language barrier as well. But yeah, my thoughts on this episode, I really don't like where the season is going right now. It's not must see. It's giving last season. I just feel like Ubah just had no reason to beef with Brynn. Like, I feel like Brynn didn't even like attack Ubah at all during the situation. Like, she made Sai's battle hers. I also think Ubah doesn't know how to argue, which also takes it out. Like, at least Brynn, like, she can be clever with her reads, but Ubah is just basically fuck you, bitch. Like I'm a wash your ass. Like, you fucking ugly snake. Like, it's just like not even like Candace. It's like if Candace like wasn't thoughtful with her reads, because Candace can be thoughtful with her reads, but also it's like mostly just physical stuff. It's like bottom of the barrel. Also, I wrote that the cast just doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like this cast still hasn't gelled for me. Like, we don't have an ensemble yet. It's kind of disappointing. Like, I really feel like they're just going to have to find some new ladies, either cancel it or combine old and new Roni, like they should have done. Like, maybe like with Real Housewives of Miami. Again, I'm glad I only had to watch this episode once. And my rating for this episode, 1 out of 10, 1 through 10, I would say, I would give it a 5 out of 10, y'all. Give me y'all's rating in the chat. But yeah, I would say this episode, I would give it a 5 out of 10. I just wasn't entertained as much. It was just something that was on TV I was watching. And they're just doing the same thing they did last year. Like, do something fun, please. Okay, we got 5.5, a 3. Damn. I'm on such an island. I really enjoyed the reboot. Wow. Okay. You give it a 4. Yep, the cast remains in their heads and they keep producing themselves. And it's just like they need to stop. Like, someone need to come in and give their ass a pep talk in the middle of the season, because I'm just like, okay, so it's just going to be Ubah saying pigeon every other episode, beefing with Brynn. Like, I don't know. And then Brynn is already annoying. So it's hard to be on her side. Erin is hard to be on her side too, because she's just as much as a shit starter as Brynn. She's just not on the same level of shit start. But yeah, that's my review, y'all. My Salt Lake City review, I just need to take notes for it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put it out tomorrow or Sunday. What else? Pop roast is tomorrow. That should be around 1:00 Eastern. Yeah, so also let me bring this up to y'all. So I did a video about FanFest, the whole Bravo thing, and I was saying hypothetically, the only way I would go to this if I was crowdsourced. And I feel like I feel like it's a money grab, but I still want to report on it. So y'all actually said in the live chat that, Chris, I'll donate. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I might put it up tomorrow just to see. The GoFundMe would probably be at $1,800, and I'm going to break down every price in the GoFundMe. So we'll see if y'all want me to go to that. It would be 2 days in Miami, Friday and Saturday, and it would cover the ticket for Watch What Happens Live, the ticket for what else? The ticket for the fest, hotel, plane ride, and transportation. So all that together would be about, I would say, $1,800 at the max, $2,000. It wouldn't be over that, but $1,800 definitely. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get to that number. If not, then yeah, I'll just cancel it and give everybody their money back or try something like that. I've never really done that for GoFundMe, but we'll see. I'm gonna humor it. But because a lot of you said that, Chris, put it up, I'll donate. And like last year when we did BravoCon, we showed up and we showed out, and that was because of y'all. So we be delivering on that. So yeah. I just wanted to throw that out to y'all before I head out. And yes, my Salt Lake City review will be live. Most of my reviews now will be live. So there's that. I don't watch New York, but glad to catch a live. Salt Lake City is still good. Yep, they are 5 for 5. I think he did New York first. At least it can only go up from here. Miami in the winter is a vibe. Well, okay. Y'all said y'all donate. I'll put it up. I'll put it up tomorrow. But yeah, with that, y'all, this was fun. I'm going to enjoy my Friday evening and relax. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all